And we're watching out for your safety tonight. Most of us have been through the drill. We know to evacuate when the alarm sounds. So, what happens when you actually can't hear the alarm?
That was the reality for a deaf Colorado Springs man last week during the structure fire we told you about. He's asking for more awareness for the visual and hearing impaired. News 5 Sam Kramer in studio tonight with his story. This is scary.
Oh, very scary. I mean, imagine if you actually couldn't hear it. Now, Billy Clark says he was the last person out of his building at the Arbor Point Apartments last week when police and fire responded to the officer-involved shooting and structure fire. He had no idea what was happening around him and hopes his story inspires change. To most, that sound can't be missed. You know what to do when you hear it, unless you're hearing impaired, like Billy Clark, to which that sound means nothing.
I was eating my snack, just like one little stick, and then all of a sudden something happened in just an instant.
Clark spoke with me through a sign language interpreter. He's referencing the officer-involved shooting and subsequent structure fire at the Arbor Point Apartments last week. It happened right above him, but his smoke alarm didn't alert him because it doesn't have a visual indicator. Instead of escaping, he was sitting in his chair until police forced entry.
There need to be strobe lights for the deaf people, maybe not in the hearing of people's apartments, but in the apartments where deaf people live, they need to have those strobe lights so that we're able to see when the fire alarm goes off.
Clark says some of the emergency alarms like hallway lights also weren't working, but Springs Fire says the landlord isn't in trouble due to Colorado law.
They were in compliance as far as how their smoke alarms are set up and the cases of who was occupying those structures and what is the proper smoke alarm. In this case, they were not the right smoke alarms for that person.
It requires ADA compliant alarms for all new construction, while older buildings are held to a lower standard. A standard Clark says he hopes increases before the next emergency. And our thanks to Access to Sign Language for interpreting our conversation today. Clark, meanwhile, says he plans to move out and into a new building later this week. Always watching out for you, Colorado Springs. I'm Sam Kramer, News 5.